Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Passive Passion Online Income. And today's video, I'm going to be talking about the importance of trust when it comes to alternative investments. All right, it's going to be an interesting video. I'm going to be sharing a lot of important details and information related to the overall shipping container investment process, and also how is it that trust plays a crucial factor in these kind of investments. All right, so it's going to be interesting. Stay with me till the end. All right, I'm going to see you guys right after the short little intro. So, welcome back. Let me ask you a question. Imagine someone offers you an exciting opportunity today. The numbers look interesting, the presentation looks professional, the website looks impressive, the documents look organized. There is one problem. You do not know the people behind it. So the question is, would you feel comfortable? Now, most people wouldn't, and that is because trust plays a far greater role when it comes to decision making than what most people realize. In fact, many people believe they invest in opportunities, but in reality, people often invest in people first, especially when it comes to alternative investments. Today, we are going to be discussing about trust as a factor and why is it a most important factor in any alternative investment conversations, and also why sophisticated investors often spend more time evaluating people more than evaluating numbers. So first, let's talk about why is it that trust exists in every part of daily life. Now, trust isn't something limited to investing. Trust affects almost every decision we make. Think about it. When you visit a doctor, trust matters. When you hire a lawyer, trust matters. When you enter a business partnership, trust matters. Every important relationship depends on trust. And when money becomes involved, trust becomes even more important because financial decisions carry consequences. Now let's distinguish and also identify the difference between information and trust. Today, we have more access to information than at any point in history. Websites, social media, videos, reviews, reports, presentations. Information is everywhere, yet trust remains rare. Why? Because information can be created quickly. Trust cannot. Trust is built through consistency, communication, transparency, professionalism, and time. That is why two businesses can have similar information but completely different levels of credibility. Now let's talk about why alternative investments require more trust. Traditional investments often operate through established institutions. Alternative investments are different. Many involve private businesses, specialized industries, operational assets, niche sectors, and unique business models. Because of this, investors often spend significant time evaluating not only the opportunity, but also the people managing it. Questions naturally arise. Who are these people? How long have they been operating? How do they communicate? How transparent are they? What is their process? These questions are normal and they should be asked. I'm going to speak about the psychology of trust. Trust is interesting because it is emotional and rational at the same time. People often believe that decisions are made entirely through logic, but human beings are emotional creatures. Trust creates comfort. Trust reduces uncertainty. Trust lowers perceived risk. Trust helps people move forward confidently. That is why trust has always played a significant role in every business. I'm going to talk about the reasons why sophisticated investors ask different questions. Many experienced investors focus only on the outcomes. Sophisticated investors often focus on the process. They ask, how does this work? What systems exist? What safeguards exist? What communication exists? What experience exists? They understand something important, which is strong processes often create stronger long-term relationships, and strong relationships often create better decision-making environments. I'm going to talk about why communication builds trust. One of the fastest ways trust grows is through communication. People appreciate responsiveness, honesty, professionalism, and clarity. Good communication does not guarantee success, but poor communication always creates problems. That is why serious businesses prioritize communication, because communication creates confidence, and confidence strengthens trust. I'm going to talk about why referrals remain powerful. You see, for centuries, businesses have grown through referrals. Why? Because referrals transfer trust. When someone introduces another person, they're effectively saying, I'm comfortable making this introduction. Now that is powerful, because trust already exists before the conversation even begins. This is one reason many business relationships begin through referrals rather than advertisements. I'm going to talk about why due diligence matters. Trust does not mean blind faith. Trust and due diligence should work together. Responsible investors ask questions, they review information, they seek understanding, they perform verification. Trust grows strongest when it is supported by knowledge. That combination creates confidence. I'm going to talk about the role of transparency. Transparency does not mean revealing everything. It means being open to reasonable questions. It means explaining processes clearly. It means respecting people's desire to understand. Transparency creates credibility, and credibility strengthens trust. I'm going to talk about why is that trust takes time. One reason trust is valuable is because it cannot be rushed. It develops gradually. People observe, they evaluate, they learn, they interact, and over time, confidence grows. That process may take weeks, sometimes months, sometimes years. Genuine trust is worth building because it creates strong long-term relationships. I'm going to talk about how that trust applies to logistics and shipping containers. And let's bring this conversation into the logistics sector. Shipping containers may appear simple, but behind every operational industry, there are systems, relationships, management, communication, and execution. People evaluating opportunities in logistics often want to understand how operations work, how communication works, how processes work, and who they are working with. Those are reasonable questions because understanding creates confidence. I'm going to talk about the biggest mistake people make. Biggest mistakes people make is confusing excitement with trust. Excitement is temporary. Trust is durable. Excitement creates emotion. Trust creates confidence. Excitement can disappear quickly. Trust can last for years. And that distinction is important, especially when making long-term decisions. I'm going to talk about the fact why reputation matters. Every business eventually develops a reputation, and reputation is simply trust accumulated over time. A good reputation is not built through slogans. It is built through actions, through consistency, through professionalism, through honoring commitments. That is why reputation remains one of the most valuable assets any business can possess. I'm going to talk about what investors should look for. When evaluating any alternative investment conversation, people should focus on understanding the industry, the process, the management, the communication, the structure, and the overall professionalism involved. The more someone understands, the better equipped they are to make informed decisions. Knowledge creates clarity. Clarity creates confidence, and confidence strengthens trust. If you are interested to learn more about the industries we discuss on this channel, including logistics, shipping containers, and alternative asset conversations, you can visit our website and submit an inquiry form. One of our managers can learn more about your goals, answer questions, and explain our evaluation process. We strongly believe that informed conversations create better outcomes. At the end of the day, markets change, industries evolve, technologies advance, but one thing remains constant, that's trust. Because trust sits at the center of every meaningful business relationship. And in alternative investments, trust is often the bridge that transforms curiosity into confidence. Thank you for watching. If you found value in this discussion, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, share the video, and stay tuned for conversations on business, logistics, entrepreneurship, and alternative assets. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Till then, you guys take care. God bless. Cheers.